Yo, listen.
Yeah. That 806 The Show episode come out.
Yo, what's good? It's the 806 Show. It's your boy Jiggy.
Dímelo, Jesse.
Are you tired of these whack radio commercials?
Go.
Hey, this is Evelyn, and you're tuning in to the 806 Show.
Shout out 806 The Show.
Talk to me nice.
Tune in every Thursday to the 806 Show.
Yo, 806 The Show.
Shout out to 806 The Show.
At the 806 Show.
806 The Show.
Hey, this is Sol Maria. You're now listening to 806 The Show. Survive. Yeah.
Yo, listen.
You are now tuned to 806.
Hey, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy, Melly Mel. This is the best damn sports podcast, period. This is 806 The Show. We got a fantastic show for y'all today. We have a Salem legend in the building with us today. But before we introduce him, the co-host. My co-host to the left. Is still recovering from the effects of last week's check episode.
Oh, goodness. We're back.
Make some noise for R.E.G.
What up, guys? We're back. I don't know. I straightened my back somehow.
Off the hot sauce?
Off the hot sauce.
On that toilet.
I think it dehydrated me to a point where
It just ruined your body.
when I was working, it just,
Hey, well, glad you made it here.
I'm glad you feel better.
Right?
You'll be on next episode, right?
we'll see.
And my co-host to the right still holds the all-time record
I like that.
for most fouls in
not true.
Salem Rec League history.
That's not true.
Make some noise for
not true at all.
Sanjay.
I found out once. That's not true.
That's so true.
I found out once. In the
a lot.
We might be able to Google that.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
We're more blocks than fouls.
We'll see who has the Cartoon League records. Where do I find that information?
We can find it.
And our special guest, one of the most accomplished and versatile players to ever come out of Salem. Make some noise for Pat Chair, everybody.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Honored to be here.
Thank you.
Survive.
But first, if you get a little closer to the mic, sir. How are you doing today?
You know, I can't complain. For a Wednesday, I'm doing all right.
Not bad,
I mean?
not bad.
Happy
Well,
Wednesday.
you guys.
Pretty good.
Right?
One step closer to the weekend, right?
Exactly. You know who's not doing all right? The Celtics.
Oh, man.
What a transition.
I thought it was a good one. It was great. I saw the setup too.
It was sad. It was
I got it.
Decent, yeah.
That was a good one. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm working on them. So the Celtics. I knew like Philly wasn't going to be. Everybody was talking
wasn't gonna
Philly
be
like they were
easy.
supposed to just run right through them, and it's. You know, Embiid was hurt, and James Harden was old, but apparently James Harden can still be James Harden.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
what do you guys think?
I think it was his 3 days in Vegas he spent before the series.
He pulled a Rodman. You know,
Went
re-energized
back
himself.
in time.
I think Doc went with him. I'm pretty sure Doc went with him.
Yeah.
Vegas, we out, bro. Let's go.
He approves.
Fuck it, go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
but practice, coach. I am the coach. There ain't no practice. Like, we'll be right back.
Oh, man. But James Harden has definitely been clutch. He's been making a lot of very,
Baggers.
clutch shots.
The thing for me was that with James Harden, without Joel Embiid, the game felt faster. It felt more like him in Houston, which is that's when he was at his prime. 37 points a game. That's James Harden. So I thought when Joel came back with an injury
Which I didn't expect him to even come back that quick.
or that good,
He's
you know?
definitely not 100%. Still.
He's not, but he's still doing work.
Playing through it.
I thought there would be a situation where they'd have to figure it out again and more defer to Joel. And he kind of did that at one point, but then he's since going 40 points almost every game. So not working out too great.
You know, I think these guys. I think people get it twisted a little bit. You know, like they think Harden can't play anymore. They think I think, to be honest with you, I think he's just chilling. You know, he got paid multiple times. You know, he's towards the end of his career, and you know, I think the big thing with the NBA is. Like the regular season's like a traveling circus, right? And they're just getting around. They're getting their revenues. They're getting, you know. But you got to think about these guys. They're playing like 83 games, you know, catching red eyes, you know, back to backs.
Yeah, right.
I don't care what you say. Like it's tiring, right? So
Absolutely.
these guys they hit coast mode during the regular season, and you can see it when you go to the games. You know, you can't really blame them. I know they're getting paid, you know, buco bucks, but then you know, like. they still got the switch, and these guys they're legit. And I think James Harden proved that. I think rested up the season. Went to Vegas,
got his hair
Clearly, that's what Jimmy Butler did. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna chill the whole
When
season.
we watched Jimmy Butler, he was relaxing.
Yo,
We went to Miami and saw him live, and he was just not trying. He's slowly taking his braids out mid-game. He had
He
like
literally took his
halftime,
braids
he had,
out
like,
mid-game on the sidelines. I'm like, dude, like,
he did not care. Fourth quarter, he started trying a little bit. So it's like,
Someone said that the regular season is more for the bench than it is for the starters. We need to know that they are ready for when they go to the playoffs. We know what the starters are going to do. That's why they're the starters. I was like, oh, that makes a little more sense. But then teams only go, what, eight deep most? 7 deep?
in the playoffs, it's like, like 7, 8 moments.
So it's like we basically weed out who, like, you ain't going to fucking play. like when Lonnie Walker didn't play at all during the season.
Right.
I
Must have got
forgot he was on the
traded in.
team.
I forgot too.
Until this series. Came up and started for 15 points in the fourth quarter. So it's like, the whole season is supposed to be for the
that's
bench
the thing.
going.
So who's the Celtics Lonnie Walker? Like, who the hell is gonna be the person who steps up and makes the big shots? Because clearly
Derek White.
he should. Because
Where'd
they
he
had
go?
some big games last year in the playoffs.
Second team defense.
Against the Hawks, he was amazing. He just
They
disappeared.
gave Pritchard a shot the other night. You know, they were
Chucking, too.
They were at a point that was so stagnant. They were just like, hey, like who can we toss in there and make something happen?
Pritchard is like so confident, no matter.
I mean, they were just searching for a spark. Like
Yeah.
it was so dead.
They were down like almost 9 at one point. I was like, hey, if he hits another 3, game changer. Let's do it. But then he ended up missing. I was like, all right, let's go back to losing by like 20. But yeah, literally, you need players like that. So I wish it was Peyton Pritchard or White, but
Grant Williams.
I also fucking Grant Williams. I also think it's more
Grant Williams
late,
is literally
late game situations.
You should be packing right now. Like, if I was Grant Williams, I'd be packing up like a fucking furniture and like chairs and shit because you are out of
You're
Boston.
going to Hong Kong.
The minute, no, we can get it.
Everybody jokes the Chinese joke.
I know, no, it's
Shanghai
yeah.
Like Dylan Brooks, he just got all defensive second team. And everybody's joking that he's going to China. It's
Like, bro, he's going to make a team somewhere.
come
Like,
on.
Grant Williams will be on an NBA team next year. It won't be the Celtics, but it'll be
Is he going to
like-
play though?
Huh?
If he's on like the Spurs
No, no one knows about the Spurs
or like the
anymore.
Raptors, I can see him there.
Send him to Toronto. That sucks.
Send him to the
Send him to the
north. Send him to the wall.
No, but the Celtics, I still got faith in them. They've done this before. They've come back
I'm 3-2.
from 3-2 against a very good team.
Do you think the coach has enough experience to put him over the hump? Because the last
Adjustments.
That
couple
seems-
plays in the end of the games has been
That seems
shaky.
to be the disadvantage right there. Is that our
Yeah.
coach is
I think it's
Yeah.
kind of. I think it's kind of like what we said earlier about the regular season versus the postseason. It's the same with the coaches too. Like if you go to these Celtics games, like I said, they're coasting. But then in the last 5-6 minutes, it gets legit. They play a little harder. Then strategy comes into play. But I think the coaching gets exposed in the playoff runs also. When it's time to make those quick decisions, and or even just every point matters because they're trying 100% of the game now instead of about 15%. The last 15% of the game.
what I don't understand is if I've never coached, but if I did coach, I wouldn't end the game with any timeouts like ever. Like why would you still have timeouts left when you?
Supposedly he's held them for the end of the games, but he doesn't use them.
But does he
What's
use
the
them
point?
at the end of the games? And that costs him because sometimes I get it. You want to kind of catch the defense off guard and not have them set up something against you. But sometimes it's, or maybe you're nervous. Maybe you don't have the confidence to draw something up. So you're like, all right,
what
JT go
adjustments he
1-on-1,
makes.
or you go Jaylen Brown go 1-on-1.
Yeah, that was the game 4 strategy, right? He didn't call timeout, which is I can see it, right? But like if you got the guy, right? If you got obviously MJ, but if you got like Dame Lillard or you got Luka or you got
Closes.
what bothered me the other night was they had like 15 seconds left or whatever. They walked the ball up. Then they try to get the switch. And then there's 3 seconds left, and it's like, all right, well now it's time to go. It's like, no. What I said the other day was, if you're the guy, You don't care about a switch, right? You get the ball out of bounds. You tell everyone to get the hell out of the way.
Yes.
And hey, we're either going to sink with me or we're going to fly with me, right? Just get out of my way.
Right.
Then they get the switches, and then there's just a lot of confusion up top.
So double teams.
And they're trying to get the perfect, matchup. And it's like, come on. And that's where you want Tatum to, like, step up and show that he's a first teamer and say, hey, everyone, get the
MVP
hell out of my way.
conversation.
I'm taking care of business. So we haven't seen it yet.
That's actually like my next question. Last shot of the game.
Should it be Marcus?
Definitely shouldn't. Definitely should be Marcus. It never should be Marcus. But who would you rather?
I said that to my buddy the other day. I said, why is Marcus getting all... He said, because they're not guarding him.
Good point. Good point.
He's not guarding you for a reason.
He did, but too late.
A millisecond off.
But who would you rather have on the last shot, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum? Or the ball in his hands, 10 seconds left?
10 seconds left. I'm giving it to Tatum.
I'm giving it to the hot hand out of those two. Because there's been games where Jaylen Brown has like 30 already, 35. It's like, dude, give him the ball. He's going to attack the basket, get to the free throw line, hopefully make it. Where Tatum, those games, Tatum's like 5 for 30. Like, the fuck, bro?
Kobe didn't care whether like fucking Derek Fisher had 30.
Yeah.
Or 35 that game.
Well,
Guess who's taking the last shot?
You
Kobe
really going to
Bryant.
say Jaylen Brown's Derek Fisher?
I don't know. The first person that came to my mind from that Lakers team, I couldn't think of anybody else
Well,
other than
like
Shaq.
LeBron and Dwayne Wade. Then again, LeBron would take the shot. Or at least have the ball in the end.
LeBron was
would
not
never
going to
take
take
that shot.
Yeah, LeBron was.
You have the ball in the end. He'll make the decision.
But
Who are you taking, Mel?
I'm going to take Jaylen Brown.
Really?
Yeah.
I am too.
Because I think he's going to be more aggressive with it.
Absolutely.
True.
Attacking.
Jason Tatum's going to sidestep, Jordan. He's a Harden step, pull up
But
shot.
he's very
That's
good.
You already know what you're getting with him.
Like,
What?
he's very good one-on-one. And like his bag of tricks are like
Are you talking Brown or Tatum?
or both. Right, yeah. But I was talking Tatum, just his length too, like a KD shooting
very lanky as
shooting over people.
I think it's especially in the playoffs. It happened last year, and I think it's happened a couple times. It's like, Tatum gets it in the end of the game, and he hit some jumpers the other day, so that made him. And don't get me wrong, he'd kick the shit out of me. Like but it's he hit some jumpers, so that made him look really good. But I think he was forced to the jumpers because he couldn't get by the guy.
Yeah.
And I know there's some help defense, but Jaylen Brown's just if you're playing one-on-one and it's Tatum or Brown just is much more shifty, much more ball quick, elusive, can pull up, but he's very unique in the way he moves.
When he gets to the basket, it's kind of like he finishes at the basket like most cases.
Right. And I think he's just getting, like, think about Harden, right, getting to the rim. He's beating the guys to the rim and then shooting floaters. Like, you don't really see Tatum one-on-one beating the guy past him.
Right.
He's like getting to a spot and taking a jumper, or if he's getting past, it's off of like a kick. So my vote, they're both unbelievable, but I don't know. I think I like Brown.
I'll take it. Yeah.
At least try.
It's hard. It's a hard choice because, for me, I like both of them. It's become that I like both of them equally.
So I've shifted this season. I was always a Tatum guy. The more I've been watching, it's like, because if you had to ask me which one I would keep, I'm starting to lean toward Jaylen Brown right now. Like, even if Tatum's
that
first
argument.
team and Jaylen Brown's second team.
Like, which one are we going to keep? Like, no.
I
We're
want
keeping
them
both of them.
Yeah, that's tough.
But if you had to, they both made all NBA teams, so that's
1 and 2. Yeah.
that's more money in their contract. So
JB made a huge jump this season. You can see it. Like, he's, I wouldn't say a superstar, but
if you're a second team,
Knock on the door. Eventually.
yeah, like this year showed it. Last year, Jason Tatum against Kevin Durant in the playoffs was amazing. Like, even on defense, he's improved a lot on defense.
Look, it's the confidence too.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Like Jaylen Brown got that confidence all the way up.
Yeah.
Where Jason Tatum, I feel like his is starting to dwindle down a little bit, because even with some decision makers he's doing in the end, it's like, what What are you
Yeah,
trying
like
to do?
the other night, I don't care if there's a double. He's got to get a shot on the rim instead of kicking that across to Marcus.
Get the
Just get a
and one.
shot
It's
up.
not that much
Say
time
one,
left.
if anything.
The amount of times that I see someone drive in and have a layup and kick it out to 3
Pisses me off.
irritates the shit out of me. I'm like, you're at the basket. You're there.
The Ben Simmons.
Like,
Or
it's just-
Draymond Green on fucking shooter last game.
Well, they're also probably got Joel in the back of their head, that he's going to come out.
somewhere.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, he had like 5 blocks too last game. So
Oh, yeah.
The Wild Wild West, the Western Conference playoffs.
love the Wild Wild West.
Holy shit, the Lakers.
I know. I didn't.
3-1
man,
right now.
like,
Hope they win tonight. I'm happy as
They
hell.
were the 12th seed like 2 months ago.
Isn't that
Think
crazy?
about that. They were the 12th seed
Isn't that crazy?
2 months ago. They made a couple trades that I thought were good trades.
They were great trades for the
Solid.
team.
Completely changed the whole dynamic of the team.
Vanderbilt was a great. Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah,
Vanderbilt, yeah.
Great addition.
Yeah, yeah.
They needed defense. Rui Hachimura, amazing pickup. Having a big body like that who can actually score. Yes, we had Russ. Well, not we. They had Russell.
Wait, what? He's right here.
The LeBron fans.
Oh, shit.
The LeBron fans. That's how they act.
Well, they had
Now that
Russell.
they're playing well. It wasn't we when they were the 12th seed.
We had Russell. Like, oh my god! But yeah, Russell changed the whole dynamic of the team. They didn't know how to use him, and when I guess Darvin Ham wanted him to be like a defensive / transition player, he said, "Fuck you." Like, all right, there goes that. So, send him away.
He could have pulled that off.
I feel like if he actually agreed to that position, he would have been amazing at it.
the way like just being that role.
His athleticism, his tenacity, getting steals, he already does anyway.
Being
to
like a
put more in
Marcus
that,
Smart for them.
yeah, and actually get to the basket way faster.
Too many more. Yeah. And he would have, the problem was Russell Westbrook, he'd have a great night. He'd have a 27, 13, 11 fucking rebounds. And then he would have a 2 for 19, like 8 turnovers. And it's just like, dude, like, shit. Like,
It's how he's
consistent.
bricking it too. Like, dude, that wasn't even close.
it's like, bro, you're just having a bad,
Like he's trying to
highs
use the
and lows
backboard.
is just too much. It's like,
The pull-up jumper off the backboard.
They're
way
making,
too hard.
they're making blooper reels. Like, I see blooper reels on Twitter about your shots, bro. That's not good, like at all.
And you start shooting 40% from 3 on the Clippers. Like, all right, cool, but you guys lost. So
That mental. I think it's mental. People don't talk about the mental game enough. The reason why Ben Simmons falls off. The reason.
Ben Simmons is gone.
Why, no, but do you
that
think
man
he's
is a
really
shit
not
guy.
as good as he.
I think he's done.
At this point, I don't know what's going on.
There's a lot of players that just completely like lost it mentally.
He doesn't like basketball.
Maybe after injuries,
Well, that
never
makes
get
more
confident
sense.
or afraid that they're gonna re-injure something or.
Yeah, if you're like
That's real. Yeah.
like
mental-
an explosive player like Derrick Rose. You know damn well when he came back, like you're not gonna drive like that anymore. There's no way. You're gonna just destroy your knees
I
again.
remember Kemba Walker. He averaged like 20 plus points for us, and then the next season just
Told you.
yeah.
But, he's like, he's fine, man. We need to get rid of him right now. Like I can see it coming.
But he go to the Knicks.
No,
he went to the Hornets.
we suffered for like 2 more seasons. Then we got rid of him. I was like, told you guys. But back to the West.
Yeah,
Why are we speaking about Kemba Walker? Now that I hate to say it, I think I got the Lakers going to the finals.
Oh
man.
my goodness. Still?
I really no, I didn't pick them before.
Oh,
I didn't fucking
you pick.
Pick the Suns, you think?
Oh, okay.
yeah. I picked the Suns.
I picked the Warriors, and it's not looking.
It's not looking good for you.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna
Figure something out.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna click. Like I said,
Yeah.
the cruising during the regular season, then click. Like they always do. And
Just to remind everybody, Jordan Poole had 0 points in the last game.
And they
Like 0 points.
10 minutes, 0 points, and they hate him.
Yeah. I guess in the locker room they're like, I mean, I would be mad too if you guys let somebody just punch me in my face and knock me out. You know,
I agree with that.
And then put
They
it
yell at me every day.
put it under the rug and like, all right, let's go back to basketball. No, fuck basketball. You just punch me in my face, knock me out, and now my shit's all over. No, I'll be pissed too. It's hard. It's hard to be a teammate to a person like that. Like, it'd be cool with you.
Whenever Draymond's trying to talk to him, like, "Hey, you gotta do this play," he's like, "Get the fuck off me."
Yeah,
All right,
I don't like you.
I could have met Draymond's probably like a difficult. Not want to say difficult, but not everyone's built to play for or with Draymond Green.
I think he's gone.
Draymond,
It's probably his last year there. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
He's not gonna
I think it's just
pay him
like,
the way he wants. No,
they're like, if you're winning, like you will put up with the antics and shit. You put up like he lost the game and they're down 3-1. Got on his podcast and said, "What a game by LeBron, dude." I'm just like, what the fuck, bro?
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. He's one of those guys that, I mean, they're all over, right? From Cartoon League up to the league, right? It's like, if they're on your team, you tolerate them, but if they're on the other team, you want to punch them in the face.
every time.
But I think it's at the point now, him and Brooks, right? Like, you know, if he's on your team, you're like, all right. But they both pushed it so far that even if you're on their team, they're on your team, you're like, dude, shut up. Like, get this guy out of here, man. It's not even, like the benefits are now outweighed by the negatives, right? And it's just like, get this guy out of here.
Like, if you're averaging almost triple-double like he used to, okay.
Oh, you win a championship.
No, well,
It doesn't
but
matter.
not.
Like, you
But
know,
if-
everybody's great. Everything's great.
if you're averaging 4, 4, and 4. It's like, okay, bro, we not gonna tolerate this shit.
What Barkley call it? The triple single? I think. I love that. I love that.
triple single.
Triple single. All right, real quick. Who you got coming out the West? I already said me. My pick, not me.
Lakers, you said?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Nuggets now. After watching the playoffs, and they're kind of
No,
like.
I'm sorry. I see it. I see they're playing well. I still don't trust them. I just
I know,
can't.
but, like, after-
they're the Nuggets.
We keep
Somehow,
on-
some way.
After a while, you keep on saying that, and then you keep on watching. It's like everyone seems still inconsistent, and the Nuggets are just coasting through this, beating such a good Suns team.
without Chris Paul.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, without Chris Paul, true, but
Chris Paul's old.
they're showing that they're the best team in the West, like the standings showed.
Pat, what do you think?
Well, I'll be honest. I don't stay up that late to watch.
Oh, we don't either.
I just catch the clips the next day.
we are on YouTube. Trust me. I watch maybe first halves of.
You know, if you asked me a couple weeks ago, I would have said, you know, Warriors, Phoenix, and, you know, coin flip at that point.
Right.
Now both are in trouble. But, you know, I kind of, this might be rooting with my heart a little bit, but I like Phoenix. I love Durant. He's just a special talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, D Book's just absolutely doing his thing. There was a stat the other night. He was, I think he hit 33 of his last 42 shots. Like that's insane.
Yeah,
right?
It's like
For
when
a
you're shooting
jump
around
shooter.
by yourself.
Right, I can't do that in the gym alone.
And he's getting double teamed.
I mean, what he's doing right now is just it's pretty remarkable. So I'm rooting for him, but yeah, we'll see.
All right, Josh, what do you think?
I got the Lakers also, and it's because if Booker and Durant don't score almost 40, they lose. And yes, they're doing it now, but how long are they going to be able to do that?
But isn't that the same question? How long is AD going to do 35 and 22 rebounds?
AD should do that for everybody. No one should be able to guard AD in the West. Joker's
In the league.
In the league, yes, but the West right now.
I'm surprised he's been healthy the whole time. Or
Well, he's been basically taking games off. So
every other.
but
In the playoffs,
it's
which is wild.
It's the first time he played back-to-back games where he's been good. So if that consistently happens, I see them coming out because Nuggets are like the Jazz to me. I
feel it, but they actually,
they're good, but they're not going to do shit.
Like Toronto a couple years
if
ago.
I had
Like,
to
yeah,
choose-
they're a good team, but like you're not gonna.
They're amazing regular season teams.
If I had to choose, I want
Which
the
is
Suns.
the traveling circus.
Yeah.
They're
good
great
at that.
circus animals.
They have a Joker.
Very high paid circus animals. All right.
Joker scoring 50 and still losing.
Moving on
Crazy.
to our guest, who's quite a basketball player himself. We were joking that we were getting old. We're gonna test your memory because we're gonna go back a little
We're
bit.
going with this.
We're gonna go back. Me too. I was there in the stands, living it vicariously through you.
Living in the moment.
Let's start. Where did the love of basketball start from?
That's a good question. I got a big family. There's a lot of Shays in Salem, a lot of them. I have like 5 uncles that played for Salem High. I have like 6 cousins that played for Salem High. And I think just growing up, going to Salem High, watching the big games, in a great venue. And when we were younger, those gyms were packed, and they were the talent was real. And like wearing the jersey was a big deal, and how can you not want to be out there? I think is how it goes. And just playing from early on, and I don't know. I come from a basketball family, so that certainly helps. My uncle was the women's coach and athletic director at Salem State for like 30 years, and he won a national championship there actually, which is
huge,
pretty big.
Yeah.
So I don't care, Division III women's. It's legit.
Everybody
it's a big banner,
in the
and that
country.
thing's hanging. And we always used to go to those games and stay after for the guys' games. So I was always in the gym watching or playing, and it's just. It's funny when you're little and you're watching those guys, they seem like, superhuman. And then all of a sudden you're 22 doing, similar things, and now you're old and 36,
That's right. Young and 36.
You mentioned putting on the Salem High jersey. Freshman year you came in. Was you varsity right away?
I was not. Nope. I was JV, and I came up at the end.
Okay.
So for the playoff run, I got pulled up, and that's how it started.
Okay. And I always forget the coach that came before Doyle. What was his?
Wayne Hanscom.
Exactly. So what was it? Sophomore or junior year that you guys had the coaching change?
Yeah, I think it was. So that would be like 2003. Yeah, between. Right about 2003, yeah. So it was between my sophomore and junior year, yeah.
And how was that change?
We were so young that we didn't really even know what was going on and why it was happening. It happened like 2 weeks before the season. It was just kind of really odd, and we knew we were going to be pretty legit that upcoming year. But both are great guys. I still talk to both of them to this day, and both have helped me tremendously, from a young age. But I think, the change ended up being great because, Tom Doyle was in the building at Salem High. Yep. And I think that has a lot to do with just kind of the overall experience. During the day, if, you had a question or, you needed some help, whether it be school or, sports, you could swing down and talk to him. And he was great. And, he was like a father figure to all of us, or like a big brother almost. So, I think it was unfortunate that Wayne wasn't there, but putting that aside, it was great. It was a great addition to what we already had.
Awesome. So junior season, you teamed up with Eric Grozick and Danny Frazier and Pat O. And to me, that's funny because literally, like, that you guys are the first, like, because I didn't go to the really games growing up. We didn't have anybody in our family who really played. So obviously, I'm if you're a junior, I'm sophomore or freshman in high school, and you guys are the first people we watch. You guys were the first, and these motherfuckers was literally just 25 every game. Boop. every other game was just like, yo. And it's funny how you said, like, yo, you guys look like superstars. Yo, when I was a freshman, like, you guys look like superstars. So talk a little bit about that junior season and how it went.
Yeah, I think it's been a while now, but
that's in your memory, man.
Like I said, we had I think we had 4 or 5 sophomores starting the year before, and I think that was Wayne Hanscom's strategy. It was like, all right, let's throw the kids that are promising young players. Let's throw them into the mix and get them all get they're learning and get him beat up a little bit, and because he knew that we were going to be around for another 2 years. So going into the junior year, we knew that we had something good going, and Eric and Danny were just unbelievable players, and we were still kind of all getting better too, because you're so young, right? We're like 16 years old. I was my sophomore year, I was 6'1", and then I came in to my junior year at like 6'6". So I was like, literally, that's legit. That's not a lie. So like we were just getting better by the week, I felt like. Eric and Danny, they were at their peak, that season and the next, and they were just playing great basketball. And I don't know, it was just it was a bit, again, no one knew, it was great. We kind of established ourselves as the best team on the North Shore that year, and there really wasn't any questions about that, because we were going to Lynn, we were going to Peabody, we were beating Ipswich, had a state championship team, but we were beating them in the summertime, down at Forest River.
Hey,
so those are unbelievable.
Yeah, summer games
Lights, the best. So I think that was a big. I don't know. It was good because we were catching momentum. We were getting a lot of news coverage and a lot of hype and a lot of people in the stands, and I think it kind of reminded us all about the games that we were watching growing up, and it was awesome. It was great to walk into different places and they'd know who you were. You're like a 16, 17-year-old kid. You don't know. I
didn't even know who you guys were, and I was a kid. Yeah, people talking. You guys are probably the first Salem High players that I heard of.
Exactly,
in my life.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm flattered. That's like, it's crazy. Right? It's like I don't think about that.
Yeah, right.
It's so. You go to the barber shop, they're talking about it. You walk into King's Roast Beef, they're like, hey, that's on us. You're like, oh, this is sick.
This is great. King's Roast Beef.
Yeah, man. It's like we're getting free beefs and stuff. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, right?
I love playing basketball.
Damn. But yeah, it was great. And, I think we peaked at the right time towards the end of the year. And we had kind of established ourselves as the best team on the North Shore pretty firmly. And then that's when, come the state tournament, that's when we had our chance to take it beyond the North Shore. And now you're testing my memory who we played.
Listen, I had Coach Doyle on here, and I was testing a lot of his memory, and he did pretty well. So you gotta.
Yeah, we almost slipped up at home, but we had a little come from behind victory, I think, against Wakefield. We had a bye, then it was Wakefield, then we went to Chelsea. We played Charlestown at Chelsea, which was, a marquee game. Charlestown was a 4-time or 5-time in a row state champion. So, no one had us winning that game. We went in and packed gym, unbelievable atmosphere, and just beat them. We shot the ball well, beat them, and I'll never forget, we had a police escort out of the gym to the bus, and a police escort on the bus up to the highway because it was that wild. Wow. It was pretty cool.
It's awesome.
It was cool.
It's like the Beatles.
Yeah, for one night. Hey. I was a Salem Beatle for one night.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the game after that, we were at Songus, the Songus Arena, and we played our division that year. Charleston, East Boston, those were like the top teams in the state. So in order for us to get out of our section, we had to go through the best teams literally in the state. So that was a challenge for us because, you see, I go to college later on and then you meet kids. They're like, yeah, we breezed through, and then we finally had to play someone, in the state championship, and it was a tough game. And it's like, oh, that sucks because in the second round we had to play, Charlestown, play East Boston, and unfortunately, I think we lost by 2 at Songus Arena, and East Boston went the distance, and they were very legit. Like they were high flying. I think they had 3 Division I players.
I'm pretty sure I remember. They came back the next season. It was like the first. I don't know if it was a scrimmage or it was a regular game, but I know you played them in the game, and it was hype. But like spanked us by like 25.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And then
what
this dude did a dunk on a fast break, and then the shush to the crowd. I was like, oh damn, bro.
Yeah.
I think he ended up running the table for the rest of the year, anyways. But like,
Yeah, I mean they've, you know, again, I would have liked to see them further in the bracket, because I think like a lot of the best teams were beating each other up early, and then kind of cruising a little bit. But that's the way it was, and it was exciting. It was fun. It was awesome. It was good. It was the good memories.
I went to all these games.
You forget a little bit, but like you never really forget those basketball moments that were like key in your life. Like if you try to think about it, like I could always go back to all the games I played and
exactly what was called and who made what shot, what rebound, what pass.
What ref ruined the calls.
No
We
question.
didn't put this over the fine.
we had that game.
Yep. But you ruined it.
I'll never forget, and I bring this up a lot. My little league manager.
I bring this up a
See,
lot.
like you don't forget.
He's our next door. When I used to live at home, our next door neighbor, and I'll never forgive him for not pitching me in a championship game. And I was 10 years old.
Kids don't forget. You never forget.
40 years ago.
I remind him
That's
frequently.
sports memory.
It's a long time ago.
A little
You
bit.
should have started me back. then.
That was the truth.
that was right.
I'm sorry, Melvin. I told you.
How much did you average that year?
Scoring wise,
Yeah.
shoot,
Oh.
I don't know.
It was a stacked team, so
Yeah, we were that. I mean, that's the other thing is like
Yeah, 2,000 point
yeah,
scorers.
2 1,000 point scorers in the same. There's only one basketball, but not taking anything away from those guys because they were elite high school basketball players.
Absolutely.
And I think it kind of worked out because I was still developing. Us Irish guys, we're late developers. And I was still a boy till I, even senior year. I was still kind of catching up and growing into my body. But I learned a lot from those 2 guys, and I think we all complemented one another pretty well. And I think it can go sour a lot of times. Especially, I know today it would be awful because everyone's thinks they're going to the league and whatnot. But I think everyone found kind of the ability to kind of work together to win, and that's the bottom. That's what I pride the most on is just being a winner.
Right.
Oh, and to answer I don't think I answered your question. To be honest with you, maybe like 15.
no, dude, as a third player on that, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think it was.
I remember you guys used to run. That was the first alley-oop fucking play I've ever seen. Where you guys ran to the back pick and you would always catch an alley-oop. And it was literally like, in my head, I was like, how do they not know it's coming? It's literally like the most simplest. And it worked.
I think Danny Frazier scored 100 points on that play. literally 100 points on that one play.
He would literally pull up from 3 the first shot of the game every time.
Yeah. That was the best. It was just it was loose, and everyone was good enough that Doyle put the trust in everyone. And I don't think I've ever been more confident than in high school. Like you don't even thinking. You're so young. You're not even thinking about. You're just playing. And that's what made it so fun.
Especially playing with the same core group for most of the years. Like that, there you grow.
We played traveling team since like 5th grade. So it was
At that point, you're just like we're just going with the flow. We just have each other where they
Best
want.
teams, the ones that are like can grow together.
Exactly, and you don't have to think.
That's why I don't want JB to leave. Jason, I want them to stay together their whole careers, figure it out.
Oh yeah, and those guys are still young. Like,
Yeah, right.
even like
Facts.
24 years old,
Yeah.
whatever they are. Like they got plenty
They
of
leave
time.
for like 6 years, but they're still like 23.
Teams that stick together, the Tim Duncan with Ginobili and Parker.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be the damn Spurs.
I know. So like,
That's why they.
but those are the teams that with the good chemistry.
Yeah.
So the senior season, how did it pretty much ended the same way?
Yeah. Let me think about. I got to remember now. How did that? God, what happened? No. Yeah, it ended the same exact way. East Boston.
Yes.
Yeah. We just couldn't get by them. They were very, very good. I remember the point guard's name, Wesley Perryman. I think he played at Boise State after like a PG year.
Jesus.
And then there was a kid, Jamal Judge, I think. He was the kid that was dunking, catching alleys. And then there was one other really, I mean, it's crazy that I still remember their names because they were that good. And, I'm waking up in night sweats thinking, no, I'm ready. I'm not. I'm over it, trust me. But they were legit. But yeah, you know, the senior year, it was, you know, I think it was, I mean, we were on the map at that point. So, you know, everyone was coming. So we scheduled a lot of better competition from around the state. You know, I think we went out and played BC High, Charlestown. We scheduled the prep. You know, just tried to get more, just bigger games during the year, and and kind of getting us ready for the playoffs. But you know, we just couldn't get past. But you know, you got to tip your hat. Those guys were legit, and they were better.
All right. So, college Assumption.
Yes.
Before, did you go through the regular recruiting process? Did you have other colleges looking for you? Or were there other choices?
Yeah. So again, I was still kind of developing, and I had a lot of Division III interest, and you know, some schools were like literally like, you know, come early decision, we'll get you in, and that's it. But I didn't play any AAU. You know, I could go either way. Like today, I think you have to do it. Back then, there was some decent exposure, but I was also getting exposure off of Eric and Danny too.
Yeah.
You know, people would come and watch them, and yeah. So I didn't play AAU. I went to like a couple showcases, but you know, I tried not to let like sports dominate my, you know, my dad did a pretty good job, you know, like there's dads that are like living through their kids and just pushing them and making them, you know, driving them everywhere and, you know, just living through them. And my dad did a good job of like keeping it normal. Like, hey man, like you're a normal kid. Go hang out with your friends this weekend. We don't have to drive to upstate New York to play 3 AAU games, you know? You know, I remember one time I told him I wanted to play, and I played in middle school. He was like, as soon as you start averaging 40 in rec league, then I'll start driving to New York on the weekend. Like, touche.
I can't get mad at that.
And, you know, now that I'm a working guy, and you know, come the weekend, you know, I just, you know, I don't have any children, but you know, I'm sure I'll love them. But getting in a car and driving, you know, 10 hours to play a few basketball games, you know, I don't know. But,
you better be good, dude.
Yeah, right. Like,
And they lose.
you know, it's got to pay its dividends.
And go over there, you score no points.
Yeah, no points, and your dad writes like $1,000 check for you to play. You know,
You got a 10-hour drive back. Like,
yeah, it doesn't add up. I don't think you're going back next weekend.
driving in silence.
a long car ride, bro.
Yeah. But I went through like a unique situation where I was trying to, you know, I was a pretty good student. I was trying to use athletics to get into the best school possible. And you know, Tufts University came to me and they said, hey, if you come early decision, you know, win, and you know, you're on the team, and we'll go from there. And at the time, you know, Tufts was like, and it still is, it's, you know, very, very prestigious, you know, school. And, you know, I don't think people could argue that it's not a top 25 school in the country. So like, you know, that had a lot of clout with me as a young kid. So I said, you know, if you know, I was a good student, but you know, if you said straight up, I applied to Tufts, I don't think I was getting in. You know, the jump shot got me in a little bit, you know. So I took it. I took that opportunity, and I went early decision, and then I was getting better, like literally getting it grown by the day or by the week. And, you know, there were different coaches, you know, still reaching out. And I remember Brown reached out, and they were like, hey, you know, we like your game. We'd like you to do a post-grad year, and then, you know, we'll take a hard look at you. And I was like, you know, I don't want to delay my life just to, you know, do that. And then another coach was like, hey, you should go out to Worcester and play pickup with the Holy Cross guys and the Assumption guys. He's like, you know, I think there was a Salem State coach at the time. He's like, Pat, you're good enough to play. He's like, you should do it. And I was like, I'm good. He's like, Pat, he's like, trust me, do it. So one Saturday we went out to Worcester and played with the Holy Cross and Assumption guys. And after one game of pickup, the Assumption coach took me to the side and said, "I want to offer you a full athletic scholarship."
Jesus, what did you do with this game, bro?
I mean, I hit a couple shots.
He did what needed to be done.
And, I remember the Holy Cross guys. There were some big bodies. There were some like 6'10", 6'11" guys, and there was a Central Mass kid that was my age that was going to Holy Cross that was like 6'8", 6'9", and they had him guarding me. And I played well against them. It wasn't a problem. And like I said, I was getting better by the day, and I didn't know. I honestly didn't know I was that good. Yeah. Because Danny and Eric were absolutely doing their thing. I knew I was good, but I didn't really know my ceiling. Yeah. And I went out there, and he literally said that, and my jaw dropped, and I said, "Damn, I got to think about this, right?" So then we went home, and he gave me 2 weeks to decide, and I took the full 2 weeks because, school mattered that much to me that I almost took, I almost paid, full price to go to Tufts because it was that prestigious. And, if you tell someone you're going to Tufts, they're like, "Wow, you're a genius." And, as a young kid, that feels good. Right. Yeah. And then, but on the other hand, if you tell someone that you went to school for $0 and, meal plans and books and everything was paid for, that's pretty impressive too. Yeah. So, I thought about that. I thought about my family and, just the cost. And, people at Assumption were more my type of people, not that Tufts wasn't, but I met the best friends of my life there. And so needless to say, I signed in like June, which is like very late. And I started that August. It was kind of wild. It was wild because we actually had to hire a lawyer to get out of a contract
with
Tufts because it's you sign a contract when you go early decision, and then a lawyer, the state rep called for me, the congressman called for me for them to release it and not make a big deal because I think they were so on their high horse, why doesn't this kid want to come here? Yeah. He's going to Assumption instead. And after a few weeks, I also just learned a lot of this from my old man. I didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, you was playing basketball.
I was just kind of hooping. So I signed and I went. And there was a lot of negative feedback from Tufts, even the coaches. I remember some nasty emails. They on this one I thought about a lot is they were like, you're going to, the Division II level. These two kids from Central Mass just signed there. They both scored 2,000 points in high school. You're not going to play there, right? Next thing you know, those two 2,000-point scorers are starting with me sophomore year for the next 3 years, and it was all good,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was good. It felt good to think back on that email and shove it.
Yeah. The fact they even sent that email was crazy.
How are you that petty?
Right? Let it go.
At the time, kids trying to get to college.
Yeah.
It's like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
I just picture 50, 60-year-old men just typing out this angry type.
Yeah. And I think that's the least. At the higher level, geez, God knows what goes on up there. You know what I mean? Right. And cash and envelopes and all that. There wasn't much cash coming my way, unfortunately.
I bet. And how do those college years go? Any tournament runs? And
yeah. I actually, like I said earlier, I pride myself on being a winner. And when it was a new coach that year. And the year before, I think they won 4 games. So it was like a big rebuilding effort. Yeah. But the guys that came in with me and that were there the year before, they were just winners, And I think that was the main driver. And so the first year, I think we won 7 games, and it was tough. It was tough coming from such a winning program. Yeah. And then the next year, I think it was 16 games maybe, and we were a little above 500, and all right, we're getting there. And then it was kind of like, high school all over again. You're like, all right, now it's our turn to step up.
Yep.
And we have the same nucleus, like you said, the teams, like the teams that have been playing together for a while.
Yeah.
Grow together.
And we kind of surprised everyone. Blazed through the conference championship, won the championship, kept going, went to the regionals Sweet 16, lost in the Sweet 16 to Bentley, who was undefeated at the time.
Oh, wow.
But ran through a couple of Philadelphia teams, New York teams. So it was a good worst to first type situation that, it's good to hang your hat on that. Because, again, at the end of the day, I take a lot of pride in being a winner.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So that's what we did.
Building a program up, it's a lot of pride in that. Like, seriously.
You know what? There's a lot of it's when you like the first few years, when you're losing and it's just like gets repetitive and, you can go one way or the other, right? There's some guys that just start treating it like a joke and, they'll be laughing getting on the bus. Or there's the other guys that want to punch their hand through the bus window, don't speak, and get yeah. But that's the winning mentality, right? It's like this isn't a joke. Like we're here to win. I'm not here to just kind of go through the motions and hang out. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to win. Or I'm going to try.
So I can try put everything into it.
Yeah, and that's what we did, and that's what the guys did, and so we had a great. Unfortunately, there hasn't been a conference championship since. But yeah, it was a good run.
That's dope.
A lot of fun, man. And I met the best friends of my life.
Camaraderie.
So you were lucky enough to actually get the opportunity to play overseas a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, I was.
How did that go?
That's an interesting story.
First, how did this happen? I always wonder how, did somebody is it an email?
Did you
just like, hey,
say that again?
Did you hit them up?
No, actually I didn't. So, my senior year at Assumption, again, we had a real good team, and we were very evenly spread. Like there was probably like 7 guys between 8 and 14 points a game or something like that. And it was good. So we had a great season, but there was no studs, but we were one of the better teams in New England. So, when we made our conference championship run, and then again, we made an NCAA run, I was lucky enough to be nominated to play in the Division II National All-Star Game.
Oh, okay.
And literally I averaged 10 points a game, but I was running point literally at, and I think, I was guarding the best player on the other team. So again, it wasn't all about scoring. I think people just realized that I was a good basketball player overall.
Yeah.
And so I got, they flew in the top 20 players in Division II to Springfield at the Hall of Fame, and they had a game and a weekend and all that. And so I think that kind of put me on the map for the overseas looks. They send, you get a lot of emails. My coach would just kind of forward it to him. He's like, I'm done with you. He's like, you can take these for what they're worth. I'm getting them, So they asked for tapes. You send them tapes and stuff like that. And, so I was kind of chilling after college too. I didn't think it was going to happen. So I moved to Newport with a bunch of my teammates, just to have one last good summer before, starting the real life. So I'm waiting tables down there, having some fun and playing in some summer leagues and stuff. But, then there's some calls and some interviews, and I'm like, oh, holy shit, this might actually happen. Meanwhile, I'm like, we're chilling, right? We're having a good summer. Yeah. And so then finally, in August, a team from Ireland calls me, and they're like, we want you, and you got to be here in 3 weeks. We'll fly you over. And I'm like, all right, let me think about this. And I'm like, well, I'd be dumb not to just go give this a shot, right? I'm not in the best shape at all. But so I said, whatever, let's try it. So I hopped on a plane and went over there. And, Ireland's, it's basketball in Ireland, you're probably the 7th most popular sport over there, literally. Oh, really? So, it's not, this isn't, I'm not telling a lie like I'm playing in front of 20,000, fans or anything like that. In fact, there was probably more people at Salem High games than there were at these games. But with that said,
Pro is pro.
exactly. With that said, those euros were coming in every Friday. In an envelope. They put me up. I was in the top floor of a beautiful hotel in Dublin. I lived there. And they would give me an envelope with cash at the end of every week. So it was cool, but
It sounds cool to me.
I was playing golf. I was going, just doing some pub crawls and whatnot. It was good. But at the end of the day, I'm glad I did it. But I think people get the wrong vibe about overseas basketball because a lot of people come back and they say, they feel the need to tell you guys like how sick it was and how I was a pro and I actually kind of like lost the love. Like they didn't really know what they were doing as much as they do over here. Now, granted, at the higher levels over there, certainly, European basketball is unbelievable. But I wasn't securing a bag. I was getting an envelope on Fridays. It was good. But a lot of guys I know that play, a lot of guys that I've met over the years went over Portugal, Spain, England, literally everywhere. But if you talk to most of them, they're just like, it's just not. Like you're in a little town. Luckily, I was in Dublin, but I left. My buddy was playing in Spain, in the Canary Islands in Spain, which is beautiful. It's right off the coast of Africa, beaches and all that. So I left Ireland and I went and lived with him for a month and I was practicing with his team and he's like, Pat, isn't this unbelievable? And you look out the beaches right there, but you're in this little town, you don't know anyone, you don't speak the language, and a couple of his teammates were like, you should sign with my agent, we can get you something in Spain. And honestly, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I want to go home. I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Or like a job at that point.
Yeah,
we got a different country.
It's just
Culture
it's not
shock.
big time culture shock. And you're learning the language quick. And my 13 years of Spanish, did all right. And hanging around Salem High helped. But
Train them well.
Yeah, for sure. Although the lingo is a little different over there in the hallways of Salem High.
A little bit. A little more slang.
I tried a few. It didn't really get me anywhere. But
We didn't know you were going to be in Spain.
yeah. So, I think when it comes to that stuff, if you can come back with some significant money, then it is a job, and you should do it. But I was coming back, I was spending and having a good time, and just kind of it was like living expenses. So I did it for the experience. But unless you're gonna come back and put a down payment on a house, or then I think you're just kind of delaying your real life. But at the same time, all the power too. If people are having a good time and you're doing your thing, go nuts.
I bet it's a crazy experience. Just like
How long were you there?
I was there for one winter.
One winter. Okay.
Yeah. And I came home, and I honestly I was happy to be home. But I'm fired up. I did it. Just to say I gave it a chance.
I did that.
Yeah, and a lot of people go at the lower level, and they'll play well, and they'll work their way up. They'll work their way up. Maybe I saw the writing on the wall too. I knew I wasn't going to make the league. Literally, I knew that a long time ago. But I knew I wasn't going to get a massive contract. So it was fun. Did it. Came back and started working.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Still playing to this day?
Yeah, still playing. More than a lot of guys my age, I think. I'm still playing. I'm nervous.
That's why I retired. That's why you look back at me. I retired.
More than you.
I'm nervous of injury.
Especially, yeah.
Yeah, I really am. I've had a few buddies that have gone down with some bad injuries, but at the same time, if you stop, then it's done forever, right? So I'm still just doing it to get a sweat, and
you don't move it, you lose it.
Yeah, and that's for sure. And you see some old faces from time to time at the different men's leagues and stuff. And it's like, hey, we're not 17 anymore. Take it easy on me.
Relax.
But no, it's all good. And I still love playing, and even just kind of messing around, shooting hoops, and watching. It's.
Do you still go back to Salem High?
Yeah, I actually I went back. I try to go back the past few years. I try to go back like once a year and play pickup with them before the season starts. So like sometimes in November, I'll talk to Doyle, and I'll go up. And I wanted to go up to see the current stud up there, but he wasn't there when I was.
Yeah, he's nice.
He wasn't there when I went up. He was doing something, but I've seen some highlights. He looks good. Someone's like, "Oh, this kid's pretty good." He's because I saw him last year, and I was like, "Yeah, he's young. We'll see." And then I saw some highlights. He's like taking off from like a couple steps inside the free throw line.
We went to a couple of games, and he's legit.
Right.
Hopefully,
no, he's gone. Unfortunately,
Where'd he go?
We predicted it.
Yeah, we knew that.
We know he's gone.
Yeah,
but
it was
you know where he went?
I'm not sure.
It's some private school in Lawrence, I think.
Absolutely.
Private schools always get him.
Yeah, that's. I wanted to touch upon that too.
Right.
It's like I feel like my year was kind of like the last year that like if you were good, you stayed.
Yeah.
Now, if you had like even a few years after me, if you had like a speck of promise, a lot of kids stayed, but a lot of kids left too.
Absolutely.
And a lot of kids left, and they didn't even play at the next level or anything. It's like it's sad to me that wearing the jersey isn't as big as it was when we were little and when I was there, and that was awesome. And now, but you can't blame these kids either too, because they're like, hey, come to this great private school, and I'd assume for a discounted rate or maybe free. Yeah. So it's kind of like me thinking about college, right?
Yeah.
You're like,
Exactly.
Hey, if I can get into this great private school and get a great education and maybe, further myself and get into a good school, a good college, like all the power to these kids. They got to make the decision that's best for them.
Now, when I played at Salem High, you guys came in a couple of times, you and Eric. And at first I was like, I heard the names, but I didn't know who you guys were. And then when we played, I was like, okay, you guys are pretty good. all right. Yeah. Bust them out, play some defense. And then you guys came back. I played 4 years, but you came back almost every year. There was 1 year you guys came like a week, and it was like the hardest runs we did. Like we usually practice hard, but when you guys showed up, it was like we have to level up to you guys.
Yeah, I think that's good. I do it. Because Doyle has been very good to me. Over the years.
Shout out Doyle.
He's a good man. He's touched a lot of lives in Salem. I think for the better. And he's always there to look out for you. So big props to him. But, I think it's good, like you said, to have some players come back because, like you're in like your little high school world and, the best player thinks he's the best and, and then it's like, oh, wait a second. This guy just came in and dunked on me. I'm not as good as I thought I was. I got to try harder, So I think it's good to kind of keep everyone on their toes,
Yeah, I remember the last time I saw you was the Masco game. You were right behind us.
Yeah, I remember that game.
And that was such an amazing game. And I remember like actually cheering, everybody high-fiving, look back, and you guys were going just as crazy as we were. I'm like, this is awesome. The fact that you still go back to the game, have the pride to.
We try to go back. At least I think most of the games, especially when we wanted. I knew this dude's gone. I knew it was the last time we're gonna watch him. And I don't feel like I'm gonna go to Lawrence. Sorry, buddy. Once you say it,
that's a little far.
Best of luck, though.
Best of luck, buddy.
It'd be nice if like all the attention was on Salem and Salem be. That's what I want.
Help. We're trying to help, man.
Right.
We're trying to
bring
get
more attention to.
So we have all these
sports.
Salem people on. Tell Danny and Eric they'll be getting emails from me shortly.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I think what you guys are doing is great. I've talked to a handful of people that obviously know what's going on, but I was looking at the people, the follower list, and there's kids that are playing at Salem High right now that are listening to this. And then there's guys like me and older than me that are listening. So it's kind of like bringing a few decades worth of, students and athletes.
We got some things in the pipeline coming.
Yeah, I think this is unbelievable for kind of the community and just I think it's great.
Awesome.
Really do.
Thank you.
Props to you
Appreciate
guys.
it. Appreciate
And
it.
I'm honored to be here. I think that's the first thing I said. I said I'll be honored to come in.
Oh, of course.
I appreciate
We're honored
you
to have
coming to 806 the show, right?
When I found out you were coming, like, oh shit, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
No,
Doyle was great because
Yeah.
that was a shot in the dark. We want to thank Doyle for you, like, because at that point, this was like a little last year. We're like, we're legit, but a lot of people, we have episodes where we're just joking around. So sometimes if you see you catch an episode like, oh, these guys are just making jokes. It doesn't seem as serious. But Doyle came on it, everyone's just like, oh, they're serious. So Doyle, shout out Doyle. He gave us a legit stamp. Like, these guys are legit. And I literally just pulled up to him. I saw him at a parking lot. I swear to God, I rolled up the window and I was just like, "Yeah, I need you on my show." Just shooting it out there. He said, "Yeah, anytime." And I was like, "What?"
Nice.
All right.
he called me after, and he couldn't say better things. He's like, they got it going on over there, very professional.
Yeah, we
He's
try,
like
thank you.
legit studio. He's like this. He's like, it's the real deal. He's like, I was very, very impressed, and
Awesome.
he said they handled me like pros.
Chris, appreciate it. All right. So now we have reached my favorite part of the I know, handle it like pros, and then let me go right to the wild shit, right? The DJ Bofka said a question. I always feel I have to explain because everybody looks at me like, why are they doing that? But when you hear
about
the
to join
episode,
in.
you should. When you hear the episode, there's effects, there's a song.
it sounds a little better.
It sounds way better. So everyone's like, yo, why are they yelling at that? I'm like, don't worry. They see the video, they're like, oh, like, yeah. It's podcast magic. Podcast magic.
Got an accident out of nowhere.
All right, I know. It always happens to me. I don't know why. The DJ Bofka Set of Questions is a game we play at the end of every podcast. We ask you 2 questions. You pick one or the other one.
We got red pill, blue pill. Please pick one or the other. People pick orange, people pick purple. It sounds simple, but people mess up every single week.
Difficult.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A or B.
A or B,
Don't
red
pick a
pill,
C.
blue pill. That's it.
Yeah.
You're asking me to. I'll do A or B.
Yes.
B.
No, not yet. Not yet.
I have no idea what's going on.
right.
Just wait. He's going to ask you
Oh, I
a
thought
question.
this was like behind door A or B. Like what prize am I taking home?
One day, maybe have prizes, but
No,
no.
that's not a bad idea.
Right.
I'm gonna ask you 2 different questions, 2 different choices. You just pick one.
All
Once,
right, I can handle that.
once I start going, you'll quickly figure out, like,
Okay.
oh, that's what they're doing.
Okay, I got it. I got
All
it.
right.
It sounds easy.
First
to myself.
question is always the same. Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
That's quick. Quick and simple.
Quick and simple. We had a former Salem High player last week choose LeBron, and I was highly disappointed. But he's still a good kid.
Still a good kid.
That's Manny, right?
No, it was Marvin.
Marvin last
Oh,
week.
yeah. I
Manny-
went to a lot of I went to a lot of Marvin's games.
Yeah, he was good. Italian food or Mexican food?
Italian. They call me Pasta Pat.
Okay.
Pat.
You
Sir,
heard
you
it
just
first.
named your
Well,
episode.
there it is. One more pasta pat.
How the hell can I not use that?
Yeah, right.
Pasta pat.
We eat a lot of pasta lately.
Or Platano Pat.
Oh, just keep getting better. Which one? Now we're at the level. We're gonna have to flip a coin after this. Jesus Christ. Let's see what. No, I definitely don't have a quarter. I love Italian food.
Yeah, I've been eating a lot of pasta lately.
Yeah,
For sure.
What's your go-to around here?
chicken parm. Oh, place?
Yeah.
Chicken parm.
Sorry.
Mine too, though. Same.
I was hungry. I didn't eat before the episode. I was like, chicken parm. I want it right now. I haven't been fortunate to eat in the North End. I heard that's the best around, so I'm trying to make my way up there. But do you have any?
I got some spots in the North End, but I don't even think you have to go to the North End. There's some good stuff on the North Shore.
Really?
You've been to Takeout, Petrillo's in Peabody.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Gallinero in Peabody.
Oh,
Unbelievable. They're on my rotation.
I had like a small pizza from there that was amazing.
Yep, that place slaps. And then if you're looking for a little nicer, there's a place Daniela's in Danvers.
Oh, I
There's
had
a restaurante, and then there's like the Daniela's, like kind of steakish but Italian. I think
Mother-in-law is a manager there.
I think it's better than the North End. And I've touched them all in the North End. I've hit them all.
That's hilarious.
Which is great.
All right, next question.
I've heard about that one.
I know. We gotta start writing these down.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe we get sponsored.
Yeah, man.
TD Garden or Fenway Park?
You got to go with the Garden.
Yeah, right.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Fenway's just too tight.
Although the Garden's been cursed lately, man.
No.
We got to turn that around.
No.
I haven't been there in a while.
I went a couple games this year.
I used to go all the time, I feel.
Well, now the ticket prices for anything.
Yeah.
It's just like,
out of
what
control.
happened?
It's
Like anything. Like we were talking earlier.
Yeah, right.
Crazy. Like, it's literally like,
Even just the
you
drinks
cannot
there.
go there for under $100. You cannot go to a game,
no
a
chance.
concert, or nowhere in the Garden for under $100.
No chance.
It's crazy.
Seats aren't even that great.
No, the bleeds. Yeah, you're paying like probably 200. Well, I don't know for the playoffs, but you're probably paying what to get in the building? Maybe what $300?
Just to get in the
to get in
playoffs.
the
Yeah.
building.
Imagine paying for that last playoff game.
Right. 300. You're up in the nosebleeds. You got the back against the cinder block. And they just go to bet on you.
And everybody starts leaving midway through the fourth quarter.
Should we move closer?
For what? No. I don't care. I will. I'm going to the front row again.
Fuck it.
Sitting there like, everybody's leaving? Fuck it.
Right. Fuck, get my money's worth.
Right?
Better vacation spot, Mexico or Vegas?
Oh. I've been to Vegas too many times. I hate it.
I hate it too.
Every time I go, I hate it.
I hate it too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate it.
I had a great time in Vegas.
I had a great time. I had a great time. But I hate it.
But every time someone's like, "Oh, let's go to Vegas,"
I'm like, no.
I start shaking. I'm like, get me out of there. Out of those two, I'm picking Mexico all day.
Now, I would stay out of Mexico for the next year.
Right. I like my
2
head.
years. Yeah. The next couple of years, we get to. My dad definitely sent us a text message. Hey, you guys should really, because we're frequently Cancun fucking visitors.
That's the spot.
Yeah, we're in Cancun too many times.
Yeah.
But
"Oh,
he
you
told
guys
us
need
like cool. I'm like, yeah, we watch the news too. We're not. We like Cancun,
good.
not that much.
We're good.
Beers or mixed drinks?
Depends on the night.
Yeah, right.
What am I doing?
What's the vibe?
Yeah, what is the vibe?
I don't know. You tell me. That is a tough question, actually.
Generally, I'm probably on the beers.
Game, something like that.
I'm a savvy, well trained.
What's the beer of a choice?
Oh, that might be a controversial topic right now. But I'm drinking Budweiser all my life. Budweiser.
Really?
I don't need the lights. I go with the heavies.
Bud
Out of the
Heavies
bottle.
exclusively.
That's so cool.
All day.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever.
I haven't seen a
I don't
Bud
remember the
Heavy
last
in a
person
while.
I've met that just Bud Heavy exclusively.
Makes a statement.
Absolutely.
Not playing around.
Yeah, right. It definitely makes a statement.
It's a power move.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
This guy knows what he likes.
Every time.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Awesome.
All right. I don't know if you're still a gamer or if you were, but Xbox or PlayStation?
Oh, that's shoot. I haven't played video games in a while, but I was an Xbox guy. Actually, no, I picked up an Xbox during COVID. Yeah, I was getting murdered in Call of Duty. I was like, damn, these guys are good.
But like 10-year-olds now.
Me too. Me too.
It's getting lit up.
Because I didn't play the other Call of Duties, but because of COVID, I was inside.
Yeah, I
got that one because it was free.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sucked.
Yeah,
I'm still so bad.
You get, I don't even know what the terminology is, but you get a new life, and then like literally you take a turn, you get sniped in the forehead. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, immediately.
These kids are good.
These kids are real good.
Esports now, that's why. Everybody's getting too good.
That's why no one's outside and no one's at the game.
Even bet on video games.
I was talking
Rex
to
gone.
Doyle about that actually, about there's a lack of participation in a lot of the sports and stuff. And he said video games, cell phones, and he said Jordans. And I was like, what do you mean Jordans? He goes, well, people would rather get a job and buy Jordans than play for any of the teams. I was like, damn. We got to change that.
Yeah, right.
Especially with the resale.
We got to
value
start
and
giving
stuff.
them. Well, you got to start getting the boys Jordans so they come and play.
Listen,
right?
Yeah.
you guys, when I told you, like, you guys
didn't
were
get it my
rocks.
senior
When y'all walked in, Oh, with the Jordan jumpsuits.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they would walk in like halftime of the JV game. I didn't want to pay for the varsity game, so I came through the JV game.
Yeah,
That's the only way you do
You
it.
know what I mean? Like,
Good strategy.
I learned
Yeah.
that very early. And so I would come in, and they would literally one by one
sense.
come in, sit in the front. I felt like they had the balcony, the front one, just safe for you guys to sit there. And
VIP section.
VIP.
It'd be nice to get the both bleachers always down.
They don't even do it for
Every
playoff
game.
games.
The
dude.
pictures
yeah.
of that were fucking amazing.
I lived at least. I'm happy to say that I was at least
behind the hoop and everything.
Unreal.
on the top too, just like hanging down, looking down, and
That's
safety hazards.
That's one of the best venues in the state
Yeah.
to watch or play basketball if it's a packed house. And they used to host every year, like not even Salem High games. They used to host like the Division I, like a
should.
couple rounds, and it's just unbelievable. Like with the balcony, the lower balcony, you got 4 sides and. The banners hanging,
Oh,
the
the
court's
banners,
unbelievable.
yeah.
It's just an
the tie
unbelievable
jerseys, you got
center.
the Rick Brunson. With
Yeah.
Cooney Penn.
yeah.
It's just it's
It
unreal.
is dope. Shout out to the field house.
right.
Definitely.
All right. St. Patty's or Cinco de Mayo?
I'm an Irishman. I gotta go. I gotta go with St. Patty's, man.
Right.
Did you drink a lot of Guinness in Dublin?
That's a good question. I drank a fair amount. They say you can get a better Guinness, because it's fresher. It's right there. I'm not savvy enough to know if it was better than if I got one, downtown Salem. But I drank Guinness. But my drink of choice over there was Smittix.
Oh,
It's it's a little lighter, but it's also not just like a standard like light beer either.
You got to do the whole waiting thing.
Oh yeah, that's the only way to serve it, man. It's you go halfway, let it settle, and then top it off.
Or if you just grab it immediately, they're like, all right.
Yeah,
They immediately just cut you off.
yeah,
Like,
you're
this guy
just
sucks.
Wait,
yes.
what? Wait,
or
wait,
they'll
wait,
just
wait.
call you an American.
Yeah, it's fucking American.
So what do you have to do? I'm confused.
With a Guinness, it's a certain way to pour it.
Okay.
And if they pour like halfway or something, and if you want to grab it, they know like this motherfucker doesn't drink Guinness. You're just trying to drink it because you're in Dublin, but you're supposed to let it sit for a little bit. Is it it rises or it goes down a little bit?
There's like a lot of carbonation and like bubbles. I don't know the proper terminology.
Science.
Yeah, but, like,
Science.
you can tell by the color. Like it's like when you pour it, it's like a cloudy like brown black. But then when it settles, it's like fully black with like a nice 3/4 inch of head or whatever you want to call it.
Boom.
Everyone knows.
And then you let it settle, and then you tap it off. But I had a fair share over there.
That's dope. All right, what's the next one? I think you kind of answered it earlier, but high school ball or college ball, which was funner to play?
Funner? Oh, that's a good question. They were both unbelievable for their own reasons. I will say, college you could party a little bit. So after a nice dub, that would always help.
Yeah.
Extra incentive to secure the W.
Yeah.
But they were both awesome. Great. I'm definitely not a glory days guy. I don't want to get it twisted at all.
This show is specifically made for us to relive our glory days.
All right.
That is-
Tonight I am.
That's why we're here. Right?
Tonight I am
To reminisce.
And, it's awesome. I'm thrilled to have been able to experience it, especially in Salem. It was awesome.
Yeah, dope.
Sure.
It's getting finally some warm weather outside. So, beach or swimming pool?
Beach. Got some friends with boats.
Oh,
See,
you know what I mean?
that's a game changer. I don't have any friends with boats, so my ass stays by the pool.
All right.
I got a question. for y'all.
What's up?
Indoor basketball, outdoor basketball.
Unbelievable question.
Yeah, I love that's a good one.
It's it's honestly like you could say it's two different sports.
You're gonna ask the middle set of
I'm
questions.
curious.
You could say it's two different sports. Like literally, like the way you have to play outside compared to playing inside, you have to like strategically change your game. Like handling the ball outside is just way more difficult. for a myriad of reasons. You know, it's generally just dirty, slippery, whereas inside it's like sticky and, you know, you can palm it easier. Outside you're dealing with wind and generally tighter rims, right? So
Concrete.
Right, concrete. So, you know,
Unforgiven.
if they got the double rims, like you have to, you have to swish, or because you're not getting any shooter's touch or anything like that. So, you know, unless you're bare ass and taking a standstill jumper, you know, you really want to get to the cup because, you know, a lot of times those rims are just so unforgiving. But I will say there's nothing like playing a big game under the lights outside. There's a league in Peabody that I've been playing in for years, and there's like, you know, 7, 8 o'clock games, and towards the end of the playoffs, people start showing up, and it gets pretty good. I've seen Antonio over there a million times. I've seen Nick over there a million times. I've seen all those guys.
Driving. Is it James Street?
James Street.
Yep. I used to drive my Volvo. He would literally like, I would act like, I don't want to give you a ride. In my head, I was like, I'm trying to watch basketball. Fuck
It's legit, yeah. But you know, like when there's some people in the stands and the lights are, and you can't beat it on a summer night.
One thing that gets me is the mosquitoes, man.
That's why you can't be on the bench. You got to be in the game.
Yeah, you gotta be in the game.
You got to run around.
All right. Better highlight: crossing someone over or dunking on somebody.
I hate the whole crossover, like make them fall thing. I hate it with a passion.
Really?
Like people don't even want to like score. They just want to make someone slip.
Yeah.
And then like everyone on the sideline does like a somersault, and then the kid tosses up like an absolute brick. And you're like, what are we celebrating here? This is an absolute joke. And you know, he walks thinking he's the man, and it's just like, no. So I mean, just because
You gotta get the whole package.
yeah, like, if you score,
you make a crazy shit.
If my memory serves me right, didn't Danny Frazier's 1,000-point game on dropping that kid from Lynn?
no, it didn't. But I remember, I know the exact play.
Yo, I was right there.
Danny Frazier's 1,000 points came a half-court shot.
You're right,
at a buzzer. Yeah. Yeah.
I was at that game.
But it was the same game.
It
and
was
I
the
remember
same
the
game.
kid's name who he crossed over. I'm not going to say
I'm not either. I do too. I almost did too. I thought we were going to say it at the same time, and then you're like, I'm not. I'm not either. My bad. I would have believed it anyways or something. All right. Last but not least, we're going to do 11 because Josh took one of my fucking questions.
Good question.
I'm literally going through 12 questions, and he just adds in the extra
It was
questions.
a good question.
It was. I know it was a good question because it's on the question list.
He said it first.
Yeah.
I was curious. So bad.
So we don't get to see the list of questions.
I'm the master of the questions.
I had a good question.
That was a good question. That was a good question. It was.
So what's the last
That's
one?
what I was going to ask. What would you rather do now in this part of your life? Basketball game or a round of golf?
That's a good question, too. Probably still play hoop. I just like it that much.
All his life.
When
When they said that when I was younger, they weren't lying.
yeah, man. It's like, it's so true.
It comes
Like,
back around and somehow stays there.
Yeah, probably hooping. You know, I love golf. I played at a young age, but I much rather play basketball. And what you just said, ball's life, that reminded me of a saying that we used to say in college is if we'd be playing during the day, you know, you'd throw up like a poster and away message or whatever. Like Saturday, you'd have like pickup, or you'd have a day game. You'd say, "We're hooping today, balling tonight."
Okay.
I like that.
I like that.
All right, I'm going to end it right there. All right, shout out. Shout out Vibe.
Survival.
Nerd
Having
Gods,
us.
Shout out
P2P.
P2P Basketball.
Shout out Salem High Basketball.
Shout out Salem High. Also, Salem Charter is also Salem. We gotta show them love too.
that is true.
I know they're new, and you know they're like the little brother, like the Clippers of the town. But we gotta show some love to them. I didn't mean that.
No, that is true. Because
They are the Clippers. They just came back. Like you guys are new.
Yes.
Yeah,
makes
like an
sense.
expansion team.
Yeah.
didn't they just play against each other?
They're growing.
They're on each other's schedule usually. Shout out Hungers.
Shout out D8.
Shout out D8.
That was a
Shout
question too on the heat
Stop
check.
revealing the
Man,
Shout out Young Soldiers Success Group. Shout out.
that was assumption.
Yeah.
shout out Assumption.
Shout out.
Coach Doyle.
Facts. Definitely shout out
Shout
Doyle.
out basketball.
Shout out basketball.
Yeah. Shout out sports. Let's get the youth playing sports.
Let's
Yeah,
get
yes.
people
Let's get 'em
back
back in
in
the
Let's get
bag.
them back signing
caring
up.
about Salem sports.
I'm tired of driving by courts and it's empty.
Empty.
Oh, great topic right there.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
tired
Empty.
of seeing that.
And I'm end it right here. If y'all don't open Gallows Hill this goddamn
been
summer, I
5 fucking
swear
years.
to God,
It's been 5
I'm going
years.
to tear down the fence myself. Thank you, Pat Shea, for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Honored to be here.
Pasta Pat.
All right, Chico, Pasta Pat. Let's go. Sorry, Chico. Jose Sanchez. I'm Melly Mel. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Take that.
806 The Show is a proud member of the Vibe Entertainment family, so make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as Facebook and the Gram. Leave us some comments, hit us with some likes, show us some love. You already know. It's 806 The Show.
806 The Show, you're. Take that.
806 The Show.